Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I'm doing family video part 3. I did look back at my channel and I saw that I'd done 2 family videos in the past, and there's a particular topic that I wanted to touch base with and really dig into the topic about healthy boundaries. No, this is for families specifically, because in those 2 videos, I did mention how important it is for families to always love and support each other and be there for each other. But unfortunately, that's not always the case. And this video is going to kind of touch base about boundaries and potentially cutting ties for a long, long time and maybe not even speaking to that person again, which is unfortunate, but there are some cases in families where it's not okay to go back to someone. Also, Gandalf's here again. Gandalf, say hi. He's just been messing around the background. Anyway, so I am going to be reading off of my own script. So I'm hopefully going to practice to learn to focus on the camera more, but we'll see. So, the 2 family videos I've done a while ago were talking about family like in general and agree to disagree and how they're meant to be together. And I understand that every family has their issues. Sometimes you end up in a spot where it's not good to let go of somebody, or if you need to move out of your parents' house, but you can't yet. And that's perfectly okay. So after I moved out of my dad's place, I learned something about moving out in your 20s that people don't normally talk about. First off, I'm living with my boyfriend, and when people heard that I was moving in with him and it's just him and I in this house, people had mixed reactions about it. Some people were happy for me, some people were not, but maybe they pretended to be happy, but they were still a little worried. And, that's fine. I understand that different generations have different reactions to something like that, because it wasn't really common for someone to live with their boyfriend or girlfriend before they got married. And I understand their perspective about it, but this has truly been one of the best things that has happened to me in the past 10 years. And I'm very, very thankful for it. So one of those boundaries is if somebody's not happy about a decision you're making as an adult, you don't have to let that get to you, right? Someone may not support a decision, but that's one of those boundaries where you don't have to do everything people say, obviously, because you're an adult. And that's one of those hard things that I've had to learn, because I've always listened to people and I've always tried to do the best that I could to behave myself and to listen to my elders and my adults around me. But growing up, you realize that sometimes even the oldest people around you are still very, very wrong. And they don't fully understand your situation either. So another thing about what I've learned in the past 2-3 years is how to speak up for myself. And people actually don't like that. And I know that sounds really obvious, but especially coming from me, if you'd known me from several years ago, I would not even talk back. I would not stand up for myself. I'm a very blunt person. But if I didn't know you really well, I wouldn't stand up for myself at all. I wouldn't talk back. And that has been surprising for some people to find out that I have changed that about myself. And it is important to stand up for yourself and have that kind of boundary in family where if they say something hurtful to you, as long as you do it respectfully, it is perfectly okay for you to say, no, that is not true. I am doing this and you can't tell me no. You can't tell me that what I'm doing is not good for me because you don't know my situation. And it varies from situation to situation. That's just a random example. So I figured out a formula of boundaries that work best for me. In the past few weeks, I've really done some soul searching and I've prayed a lot. And this is the main part of this video that I wanted to get to, is when to completely cut someone off and not completely burn the bridge down, but when to say, okay, I'm not going to talk to this person or see this person until they apologize. So unfortunately, I really don't like to do this, but I've made some decisions in the past where I will decide to no longer talk to somebody because of either something they have said or something that they did that hurt me or a loved one that made me say, okay, I'm no longer going to talk to this person or reach out to see this person because of what they said or did. And if they apologize, my terms will be, it needs to be a sincere apology, and neither side, nor me nor them, need to be petty about it. Because there are some situations where I've seen amongst family where someone will apologize, but they'll still go back to that past and they'll still talk about it and they'll be really petty about it. And that's not healthy. So for me, if somebody does me wrong and I decide, okay, you know what? I'm not going to talk to you until you apologize, and it needs to be sincere, I will forgive that person in advance. And if they eventually apologize, I will be more than happy to have a conversation with them about what happened. As long as we both agree to not be petty about it, let's not bring it up, and let's just move forward and have a happy life. And forgiveness is another very important thing when it comes to boundaries, because if somebody hurts you, you don't necessarily need to forgive them to their face. But what really, really is helpful is to forgive them and to not hold a grudge or be hateful towards that person. You could take as much time as you need to process everything that happened and to allow yourself to forgive them. But what really, really helps you move on your side is to forgive, to pray to God, give that grudge up to Him, and just let God take care of the whole thing. You just need to let it go and forget about it. And I mean, you don't really need to forget what they did, but it is really, really healthy and important to be able to forgive and to move forward. And oh man, I'm starting to shake. Sorry, I'm not getting emotional, but it's really hard for me to set that boundary of cutting ties with somebody. And it's just, I understand that it can be hard. And I know what I'm saying might sound obvious to a lot of people, but the forgiveness and the apologizing aspect of everything is what I'm trying to move forward in this video. So I will never forget what they did, but I will not go down to their level and be hateful and petty about it. It really hurts when someone doesn't realize what they did was wrong because they might apologize without even realizing it. The important thing is just to forgive, have a conversation and make amends and move forward. That is my hope for the future. So, with all that being said, I hope that you could take something away from this video. I'm not pinpointing any particular person by making this. So if you watch this and if you think I'm talking about you, I'm really not. So don't worry about it. Like I said, there are people in my life that I have cut off and that I've decided to not talk to anymore until they apologize. But this video is really for hopefully helping somebody who might find this and might get something out of it. But that's all I've got to say, and hope you'll have a happy day, and I'll see you next time.